together with my partners. The person in my college, this is Nancy as my consult too, and then Rehan, and then we have Kalista, Faris, and also the Ajay.
So on behalf of the respondent, Jaja Biofil LTD, the respondent respectfully submits three principal arguments. In the first one, this tribunal lacked jurisdiction as no valid arbitration agreement was ever concluded. And the second,
Argumentation please. Counsel for claimant, the floor is yours.
Okay, never properly incorporated and therefore this tribunal has no authority. So respectfully, the argument simply doesn't stand. So and also that for the three straightforward reason, the first, the arbitration clause was expressly incorporated into the contract. The second, the party already has established commercial practice of using this extra contract. And the third one, under the applicable law, the clause is
Arbitration clause be binding if the document containing it was never provided. Are we as a tribunal only expected to rely on quotation of Article 9?
As the lex arbitrary, a clear and ambiguous written reference is such as official physical delivery is not a prerequisite.
Some question for the contract payment. You said that there is no signed contract. It clearly stated in written the contract that are signed, but you guys said the contract still valid. What the concern of you? There will be this contract is still valid from your.
no valid arbitration agreement exists. At the first, we also said about that arbitration is founded non-consent. Without clear and effectual consent, jurisdiction cannot arise. The first one, under Mediterranean law, as the government governing law of the contract, no agreement to arbitrate was concluded. The parties never reached a meeting of the minds regarding arbitration.
Under Article 6, Number 2, CSG, the relevant standard is how a reasonable person in the same circumstance will have to understand the communication, not the internal interest or either party. A reasonable person or the complexity and scale of the transaction, the request for draft documents, and the explicit condition language will not have interpret the 1 April email as a binding over 19 CSG, which was never accepted by the respondent. No contract exists.
It must be read together with Article 8 of the CISG. As already mentioned, in Article 14, there is needed intention to binding the how to binding.
Even if the tribunal were to apply Article 8, Number 2, a reasonable person to the same circumstance will not interpret the communication as a final offer, but rather as part of preliminary negotiation, especially given the complexity and scale of the transaction.
Two conditions by which is definitely clear and there's an intent to be bound. But if we are referring to the 1st April email, it is clearly stated that the essential terms, right? There's mention about the intention, but not this definiteness.
Explicitly started that respondent was interested, subject to further negotiation, which clearly indicates that no final commitment has been made. Moreover, key aspects of the transaction, such as the exact quantity commitment, the mechanism for determining the 5% transaction.
Wanna add?
Okay, we would like to understand your position on jurisdiction. You argue that there is no valid arbitration agreement, but at the same time, you are participating in this arbitration, right? So could you clarify how those
Under the CISG, incorporation of standard terms requires not only a reference to them, but also that the other party is given a real opportunity to become aware of their content.
That says about the contract can be proved in the any way and the contract can be not right. So it means you guys suggest that the contract cannot exist without the signed document despite Article 11 of CISG. Can you give the reason and why?
Contradict Article 11 of the CISG. Instead, respondent's position is that in this specific case, the parties had agreed to deviate from their default rule under Article 11 by requiring a signed written document as a condition for contract formation, pursuant to Article 6 CISG. This is evident from the parties' conduct. Respondent requests draft documents for signature. Claimant repeatedly asks for a signed copy, and both parties treat the signature as a necessary step before any binding obligation would arise. In this context of a long-term, high-value international contract, such as a requirement is commercially reasonable and reflects the parties' intention not to be bound prior to formal execution. Therefore, the absence of a signed document is not merely evidentiary, but demonstrates that no contract was concluded. Thank you.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, Uncle. I think that's all from us. So since there is no rebuttal, so actually
to be bound in the contract, and also even if the parties did not conclude the contract on 9 April 2020, respondent accepted claimant offers impliedly. The point is, in the respondent accepted the offer silently, which is the party practice between Ms. Bupati and Mr. Chanda shows that Ms. Bupati's silence after receiving the contractual document constitute acceptance. And also the established party practice applies between the parties, such as like the re-established party practice govern the relationship between the parties, and also the change of claimant contracting party did not influence the application of the party practice. Thank you.
CISG state by in point 1, statement made by the conduct of free indicating essence of to an offer is an acceptance. Silence or inactivity does not in itself amount to acceptance. So, in our side, the contract in the email is it means the contract from respondent and claimant is binding, legally binding. Already there are the price, the essential element.
Today, the tribunal will take some time to discuss the issues further and consider all of the arguments. So we will share the outcome later. Thank you so much.
Hi, ma'am. Regarding the RSPO issue, can you provide a strong enough reason that you guarantee full RSPO compliance throughout the corporation?
Authorized by respondent refer to past violation by former suppliers, not by claimant itself. Under CISG Article 4, avoidance is only available in case of non-performance or anticipatory fundamental breach.
The issue and consider all argument present. The outcome will be communicated at the later time.